What is going on, YouTubeites? Welcome to the Lords of the Long Box presents the Cover Price Top 10 for the week ending February 28th. Can you believe it's March already? Spring is in the air, at least here. It's like 70 degrees. I'm sorry for the rest of you. But I'm pretty sure you guys will have a longer winter than we have. But you know what? To be honest, we need the rain. But shout out to everybody in the live chat. This is the Cover Price Top 10. And before we get started, while you guys congregate, everybody hates, and when you guys watch it on the rewind saying, why does it take so long? It's because we want our friends to gather in the live chat and build up a lather.
Little notifications.
So I picked a little remix that I think Justin will like and pay very close attention to toward the end and middle of this video. So stick around, boys and girls. We'll be right back after this.
Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started. Nothing can stop that now.
Yo, my man DJ Swift style. Did you see him use the force to pull the turntable toward him? That's one of the best ones on the internet, besides my man Scratch Bastard doing the Imperial March. But good Lord, man.
Are we still live? I don't know. After that,
I know, man, because John Williams don't fuck around, man. We're still up. So far, so good. So it'll probably be blocked in like Cuba, North Korea, China, and somewhere else. Man, that's shout out to DJ Swift style. I'd always like to find little 1-2-minute clips of DJs out there. So you have any suggestions that I could put up there, you guys throw me a bone and I'll see what I could do, man. Once again, this is the Cover Price Top 10 brought to you, friends, from CovrPrice.com. Go to CovrPrice.com. You can sign up for a 2-week free trial. If you like what you see, it's only $6.99 a month after that for your price guides, collections, and trends. And this here very list, as well as the shakers, movers, and all kinds of cool stuff. The show is also sponsored by our friends at KRScomics.com. If you missed out, this is sold out. This mystery box here featured two grand prizes this time. One was a 9/8 sketch. Was it by Mayhew, right? Warren Liu, excuse me. Yeah. It was Warren Liu for that Black Cat. And then this 9.9 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Last Ronin with the Remark by Kevin Eastman. So needless to say, they sold out really quick. And you guys heard us. Chris told me that a bunch of LOTLB codes were used and you got 15% off of 150. So that's not bad at all. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, Chris asked me to tease this image. So Friday, this weekend, 2 KRS Comics exclusives are going to drop. One on Friday, one on Sunday, and it's Alien Weekend. So you can only tell it's Aliens #1, and he got 2 really popular artists right now to do the covers. So I can't divulge who they are. So make sure you follow KRS Comics on Instagram. I got a burp.
Jesus.
Sorry, I had pizza and then I fell asleep, so that's never a good idea. So make sure you follow KRS Comics on Instagram. He's going to tell you exactly what the times are. Normally, they're like 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Eastern, but he doesn't know yet, so make sure you follow him. This is going to be big. Aliens, everything, and the 2 artists that he told me about, I think it's going to be hot, 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 hot. Also, by our friends of Rocket Comics, tell them the Lord sent you. Get 20% off your first pressing order, be it 1 book or 200 books. Also, these handsome hoodies you see us wearing here is our friends at the Geeky Swag Shop. Go to Geeky Swag Shop, use discount code LOTLB to get 10% off anything in the Geeky Swag Shop. You can get NY Warriors merch, you can get Lords merch, you can get all. Oh, I hate saying merch. Now I sound like one of those people. You can get merchandise. I'm almost 50 years old. I should not be saying merch. Okay.
Get that merch, brah.
Stop it. All right. So this is the CovrPrice top 10. Let me drop the video. Make sure you go check out our video from last week. We're going to do 1 more week for the 6,000 subs giveaway. We got quite a few entries already, 200 and something the last time I looked, so the list is going to go on. We're probably going to do a live show. We're going to do the normal drawing, and then we're going to give away stuff as we go also on the show. Appreciate everybody who's been supporting the Lords. We're at 6,100 subs now, so thank you very much, everybody, for supporting the Lords throughout the years, for Lords 1.0 and Lords 2.0. So,
definitely, thank you.
So let's get right to it, boys and girls. This is CovrPrice Top 10. There's 90 of you watching now, so I appreciate all of you guys. Sith Lordly holding it down with the wrench. Who else? Damn, Sith Lordly all by himself. Well, I'll try to help you out, Sith, so as these 2 knuckleheads read it off. But with every top 10, there's always one that doesn't quite get to it, but we like to throw it in there anyway as an honorable mention, so that's why this is a top 11 list. And coming in at number 11 this week is, wow, I would have had no idea, but Spider-Man India, number 1 from 2005. Rumors of Spider-Man India appearing in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 lit a fire under this long undervalued series and alternate version of Spider-Man. It sold 18 copies, had a 7-day trend and 325%. It had a high sale of $55 for a raw copy. Whew. I did not know Spider-Man India existed. But, so obviously, don't get confused with this being Spider-Man 3. Into the Spider-Verse 2 obviously is the animated series, and if with the first one, you remember all the crazy characters. You had Penny Parker,
Spider-Man Noir.
Spider-Man Noir was the best, which was my favorite because Nicolas Cage was like.
Peter, would you say Piggy Parker? You mean Peter Porker?
Penny. Penny Parker was the little Japanese, the anime chick.
Oh yeah, and then Peter Porker.
And then you had Peter Porker, but my favorite scene in that is the thing that Spider-Man Noir says, sometime I light a match just to see if I can feel anything, to see how long it burns down. So Spider-Man India, number 1 on your bingo card. If you have this on your list, I don't see any 1-for-1 so far, but if you had this on there, you're off to a good start because, I don't know any. If you have this, please tag us on Instagram and we will send you a Marvel No Prize straight up. I mean, literally, I have a Marvel No Prize comic that I will send you because this one, but it has to be today or tomorrow. Don't go on eBay and buy one, so no cheating, no cheaties, no takebacks, no whatever. All right. So coming in runner up, number 11, Spider-Man India. Number 1. Who would have thunk it? Pretty dope cover, though. I dig it, man. It's kind of like very cool. All right, Zach, what do we got for number 10?
So this one's been on the list a couple weeks now. Here we got Taskmaster number 3 from this year as well, 2021. So as noted in previous weeks, this issue features the first appearance of Taigu. I don't know how to pronounce this.
Taguchi.
Taguchi? I don't know.
Taguchi. Yeah,
Taguchi.
Sure, yeah.
His first appearance is steadily moving copies. This week, it sold 76 copies, had a 7-day trend of 122%, and had a high sale of $32 for a raw copy. Yeah, this book's been on fire lately, man.
Yeah, and we already know there's going to be a second print, and he's going to be on the cover. So I have a feeling there will be a solo series because why not? If you see something this hot, you have to build on it. And Marvel is pretty good at that.
Right.
DC used to be pretty slow on it, but then with the punchline stuff, and then I think now they're probably seeing it too. So there you go. Taskmaster number 3 coming in at number 10. Number 3. I'm sorry, I got to do the scratch since DJ Curse wasn't able to make it today. All right, what do we got for number 9, DJ Curse? Number 9.
Well, thanks, DJ Curse. At number 9, Final Crisis, number 7, cover B. This is from DC 2009. So Hollywood Reporter last week posted an article that Ta-Nehisi Coates was going to write a new Superman movie for Warner Brothers. The article also notes that according to sources, the project is being set up as a Black Superman story. This news circulated to every comic book news source, especially citing Calvin Ellis as the most likely candidate. Calvin's first cameo appearance is in this issue, and it went nuts price-wise. It did sell 27 copies and a 7-day uptrend of 391% and a high sale in a CGC 9.8 for $600. And I sold 3 copies last week of my own. So I'm part of that 27. And I found another one today, which is really great for a couple dollars, and I'm going to list it. So going to sell it while the fire's hot, man.
Couple this with the story that Mikey Sutton dropped that J.J. Abrams is going to be doing a Superman movie as well, or is producing it, and he wants Michael B. Jordan to be part of it as Superman. But, which Superman is it going to be? Is it going to be just a black Clark Kent, or is it going to be this version? So, I mean, either way, though, it doesn't matter in the comic book worlds because people are just going to like, you know what, that's the first time it was a black Superman. You know what I mean? People, we kind of draw the connection that way in the comic collecting world. But yeah, so you'd be surprised at how many DC books are on this list this week. Probably the most DC books since, I would say, the Punchline era hype. Probably. Yeah, Punchline hype. Speaking of which, it's kind of apropos that Zach gets this one because he sold this during the Lord's auction. What do we got for number 8?
So we got Infinite Crisis number 5. This is going to be the Jin Lee cover. So everyone knows the Blue Beetle movie was announced to be directed by Angel Manuel Soto. And Blue Beetle is the first Latino superhero. So, also apropos, this guy's from El Paso, Texas, kind of like myself here. So this is the first appearance of Jaime Reyes.
The actual Jaime Reyes or the guy who's doing the movie?
No, Jaime Reyes is from El Paso, the Blue Beetle. And this is his first appearance as the Blue Beetle. And this book went super hot this week. So 7-day trend of 150%, had a high sale of $500 for CGC 9.8.
Damn.
Yeah, I threw this in my little DC mystery box.
Yeah, well, for those who've been rocking with the Lords, we had a long-term spec with Blue Beetle on it a couple of years ago, and back then it was a $10 book, maybe?
Yes, I snagged that up. Actually, my shop gave me the whole run for free, which was
boom.
Pretty awesome.
There you go. So there you go. At least you're in the positive. All right, number 8 on the list is Infinite Crisis number 5, one of the first appearances of Jaime Reyes as the Blue Beetle. This one came out of left field, really. All right, what do we got for number 7?
G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, number 32. If you thought any other book besides G.I. Joe 1 would be on this list forever, you never know. So, came out in Marvel 1985. So, Deadline announced that a G.I. Joe live-action TV series is going to be centering around Lady J. It's in the works at Amazon from Eric Olson, Paramount TV Studios, E1 and Skydance TV. So this issue features the first appearance of Lady J as well as Ripcord and Blowtorch. Nobody cares about those two. It's all about Lady J. Did sell 19 copies last week, had a 7-day uptrend of 707% and a high sale of $150 for someone had a 9.9 CGC. Ooh.
Damn. So this goes to what's interesting about this, and a little anecdote here is so Paramount is launching their own streaming service akin to HBO Max or Disney Plus, right? Where and similar to Amazon and Netflix as well, they don't make as many big screen movies as Paramount obviously and Warner Brothers and Disney does, but it seems like they're following that model where, hey, let's make G.I. Joe movies for the big screen, but now we have a streaming service where we could also do smaller stories on the streaming service. So just another streaming service. Hey, look at John Longshot 68, 4 for 4 already. Good for you, man.
There's just so many great characters in G.I. Joe mythos that you can do so much stuff. It's not just Snake Eyes and Duke, man. You know, there's so many
and
things.
There is a ton of first appearances because there's so many G.I. Joes. There's so many of them, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, we haven't even talked about the bad guys. Like, remember the Dreadnoughts, the crazy weird Zartan and all those guys.
The bad guys are some of the best ones for sure, man. That don't get enough love.
Yeah, hopefully they do it right, man, because and hopefully people get killed. I hope nobody just parachutes out of all the planes when they get shot. Remember that in the cartoons? Nobody ever dies. All right, number 7 on the list is G.I. Joe number 32 from 1985. I'm pretty sure people are going to start going all through that Marvel G.I. Joe run. All right, what do we got for number 6?
So number 6, we got another recent book. It's Batman Black and White number 3 from 2021. So this is going to be the first appearance of Mia Maps Mizuguchi from Gotham Academy as the new Robin. It sold 52 copies, had a 7-day trend of 272%, and had a high sale of $20 for a raw copy. So if you've been watching the show for a while, I mean, I couldn't tell you the date, but we were talking about the first appearance of Maps back in Gotham Academy has showed up on this list a while ago as well. So, you know, I'm kind of surprised, spoiler alert, that that's not on this list, actually, seeing as how this book got so hot.
Well, I think that book has probably been priced out of this, because this, that book is probably more eventually end up on the Shakers list.
Right.
But, now this is more units moved and, as price percentage moved. But that's just a dope ass cover, too.
Yeah. What are they? Almost virgin variant kind of cover type thing. It's all black there. Yeah.
What do they call that? DC
designer.
What's it called? The minimal trade dress. Minimal dress.
Yeah, minimal trade dress with really small logo. I kind of dig that even over a virgin because it's just minimal. It doesn't have the covers on it, but still very dope. I dig it, man. All right, so number 6 on the list is Black Man.
What?
Batman Black and White. Come on, stop it. It's been a long day, man. So Batman Black and White. All right.
Racist.
For those who've been waiting for this to appear on the list, it was bound to be inevitable if you watched WandaVision last week.
So we got West Coast Avengers number 45, but this is the newsstand. So this came out in Marvel 1989. So again, spoiler alert, you all know. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Vision went all white. That's his body you saw in the last WandaVision episode. Of course, everybody ran out, went to eBay to buy the books. If you're on the East Coast, you probably missed it. Did sell 53 copies last week, had a 7-day uptrend of 320%, with a high sale of $309 for a CGC 8.0. But past that, I mean, it's been selling like crazy this week. So.
And buyer beware. That's all I have to say, man. For those of us on the West Coast, like Justin was alluding to, so I didn't make this public, but in our private groups, I had this weird, crazy thing where I was like, what if Paul Bettany was saying the actor he wanted to act with most was himself? And what if it's White Vision? And sure enough, it was, and and I didn't know anything about it. And then, so as I'm watching it at the end credit scene, I see it and I go, holy shit. Because I'd already had it on my watch list on eBay because I was thinking, what if? And I seen, they were like $30-$40. And there was a couple of 9.8s that were selling for like $1,500. And I had them on my watch list. So as soon as he appeared, I was watching WandaVision. So it's like, what, 12:50, 1 a.m. I immediately go to eBay. They were gone, just like that. So for people on the East Coast, if you watch WandaVision, maybe stay up to 3 a.m. if you want to get some books, because on the West Coast, people are still wide awake and got their eBays. It's in 2020, 2021, people watch shows, especially weekly episodic shows with eBay open on their phones as they're watching, just in case there's something crazy that pops up. And it was, I got to say, if you watch back, me and Edward from Small Code, we did our review of that and our spoiler review of it and what we thought was going on. And best episode so far, by hands down. Special effects wise, everything. There wasn't any real comedy in it except for, Agatha Harkness cracking some really mean jokes to Wanda about her brother. I'm like, man, that was brutal, man. So West Coast Avengers number 45 showing up at number 5. Good Lord. All right, what do we got for number 4?
So number 4 is a cool one. I always like it when we get a book on here that's not necessarily any kind of spec, but just because the cover is so great. And this is one of them. We got Marvel's Voices Legacy number 1, the Oliver Copiel variant. And obviously, as you can see, awesome cover with Miles Morales right there. Had a 7-day trend of 297% and had a high sale of about $33 for a raw copy.
Yeah. I mean, is there any spec on this? It's just a really cool cover,
just
right?
The cover, man.
Yeah, there was actually a few variants for this, and they were all they're not ratio. This wasn't even like a ratio variant. So
yeah.
And obviously Miles has been super hot this year. So
yeah. I think Miles is one of those characters that just has more room to grow. I mean, he's John Longshot, 6-8. Either he's lying or he's just buys everything. Good job for you. 7 for 7, man. So if he says 11 for 11, we're gonna need proof.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, prove it.
Yeah, prove it. So, man, 6 Face Comics, 1 for 8. I picked up the Stormbreaker cover for this. So there you go. That's not bad. So, Marvel's Legacy number 1. This came out last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw all of these and I go, what are these? So, anyway, what are those? All right. So, Marvel Legacy's number 1, the Olivier Copiel variant. Because I know somebody's gonna correct the way we pronounce his name. I think he's French or some shit. But all right,
his name's not Oliver.
I don't know.
I would
Olivier.
say Oliver. Yeah, it could either be.
Yeah, he's French. So what are you gonna do, man?
Yeah.
All right, number 3 on the list, as we said, this list is full of DC books.
Yeah, man, this is a good one. This is Action Comics number 9 from the New 52 back in 2012. So, as I said earlier, speculation of WB developing a Superman 2 or reboot as a Black Superman story calls all the Calvin Ellis related books to sell. This particular issue is his first appearance and origin, as well as him actually finally getting a name. Did sell 85 copies last week, had a 7-day uptrend of 376% and a high sale in a CGC 9.8 for $290. There is a variant for this book, and there is also one of those digital copy versions, which is nice as well.
God, man.
$290 for a 9.8 seems rather cheap to me if they're going to be making a Black Superman, right? I mean, that seems
pretty expensive for a New 52 garbage Action Comics book.
That is true, yeah. But
God, man, that pisses me off. I definitely
one man's garbage is another man's treasure. You know what I mean? All it takes is one little piece of announcement. I mean, I don't know how to say this. I mean, we say it every week. Pay attention to the trades and Hollywood Reporter, and some of the spec sites, like, I won't name them. Some of them make the books move, but when it's official from like Variety or the Hollywood Reporter, that's when books really move. I mean, it's, even if we tell you Black Superman is coming, you guys won't even believe us. Maybe some of you will go out and get it, but it's, you need like, an act of God for you to go out and really think about it. But to me, 9.8 for 290 for 9.8, that seems rather reasonable, but I doubt it's going to remain at that price. I have a feeling it's as more news comes out. So there you go. Number 3 on the list is Action Comics number 9. What do we got for number 2?
Well, should be no surprise, but we have another DC book. We have Final Crisis number 7. This is actually going to be the cover A version. So it sold more of the first cameo appearance of Calvin Ellis. Sold 32 copies, had a 7-day trend of 1,131%.
Good Lord have mercy.
Such a ridiculous number, and had a high sale of $500 for CGC 9.8.
That's unreal. I mean, when you see a 7-day trend of that high, that means it was basically a dollar bin.
Yeah, it was in the dollar bin for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, really, was anybody really what? And this is the first appearance of him, or
it's basically him.
Cameo.
You see him for like 2 or 3 panels, but there's no name. So it doesn't say his name, but it's a Black Superman. Yeah. And I mean, you guys saw it in my private chat, and I posted it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
I had this entire series listed the week earlier. I couldn't sell it at an auction for $50. I didn't relist it because I was just like, I had a bunch of other books. And then when the news dropped, I put it up as a buy it now for $200, and it sold within 3 hours for $200. So for those people that didn't get it at 50, someone got it at 200, and I was happy.
You snooze, you lose.
And it's pretty garbage story also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, the dark side, with the what's his name?
Anytime you see crisis in a title, it's just like,
I remember reading it and just not enjoying it at all.
Yeah. You know what I do enjoy is the kind of new DC. They're kind of like a what if. They're like the DC Tales from the Dark Side type stories. They're like
Tales from the Dark Multiverse.
yes, I'm really enjoying those. I mean, they are really dark. I mean, if you thought DC was dark, I mean, this takes DC darkness to a notch to a new level. We're talking like Zack Snyder darkness in black and white. All right, so number 2 on the list is Final Crisis number 7. What could be number 1?
Well, let's see. What do we have? We've had Final Crisis, and we're going to get another West Coast Avengers book. So I get 2 for 2 on these. So again, as noted, this is West Coast Avengers number 45, number 1. This is the direct edition. Again, Vision turns white. We all recall the comic version first seen in this issue lost all of his emotions and sense of morality. He was simply binary coding with no heart. Is this how WandaVision will go? What about the other Vision? So many questions in these final episode. We can't wait to see how it's going to play out. But this issue did sell 132 copies, had a 7-day uptrend, 293%, and a high sale of the direct one for $1,500, as Tivo was saying earlier. At 1 a.m. West Coast time last Friday.
Yep. So as usual. So we had the this is the direct stand, right?
This is the direct.
All right. So as usual, I always have to throw out my graphic so we can say so the direct stand apparently sold for more than the newsstand, and maybe it's just because it was the only slab up there. But as always, I always have to throw this up. So right around 1990, so this book came out in what, 1989. So in 1989, it definitely started skewing more direct market to newsstand. So this is one of the books that I would say newsstand is going to be the more rare of the two. But I think in this case, it just happened to be because I saw there was 2 9.8s for sale that night when I was watching WandaVision. So it just happened to be this. Now, the direct stand going forward, if you're looking between the two from 1989, which is called a 1990, you definitely want the newsstand because there was only a 15% as opposed to 85% direct market. But some people will always argue that I need to get my newsstand because people just rape the shit out of newsstand books, and because of the spinner racks and everything like that. So
yeah,
we shall see. We're on screen and Manimal's on the phone. So.
Sorry, I got a work call. Sorry.
Oh, hey, it's happened to me before where I actually had to leave. It was like
your thing rings. His didn't even ring.
So remember, guys, hey, make sure you guys check out our friends at KRS Comics. Follow them on Instagram. They're gonna have a special Alien #1 variant dropping on Friday and Sunday. And you guys know how fast these variants drop, so make sure you pay attention, follow them, set your alarms or whatever. Can't tell you the artist names, but I will say I enjoy both these artists, and they're very hot right now.
I'm excited, man. And as Aliens is, the what's the tagline? No one can hear you scream in space.
That is right. Yeah.
Is that the Aliens tagline, or is that just from the space?
No, that's the Aliens tagline. That's one of my favorite, just like movie posters that has that quote on right on the top.
Well, it's funny because the first graphic he sent me, it actually says that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't put it though. He sent me. He goes, the graphic is in comics. No one can hear you scream.
There you go. That's what I was actually going to come out with, but that's pretty good.
Well, in comics, yes, you can hear people scream because when people get bad deals or when people, I would say the most common scream is when somebody's pulling a comic out, an old comic, and they get the tape stuck to the cover. That's a comic scream.
Oh yeah. God.
What would you guys all? What's your definition of a comic scream? What would make you do a comic scream?
I hate reading a book, especially obviously nothing pisses you off more than like a damaged brand new copy. But like you're reading the book and you turn the page and the page comes out of the staple.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That shit pisses me off. And it's like a brand new book you just picked up like that week, like new weekly pull, and you get to that centerfold page and it comes off the staple.
Oh.
I'd say getting back a graded book and seeing it resto.
Yeah,
where it shouldn't be resto.
Yeah, trimmed pages, or getting a book from 2018 with off-white pages. Like, what the fuck? How's that even possible, man?
Yeah.
What was that thing, Justin? I think you posted like there was CGC graded a book that was 9.8 with the missing front cover. One
of the comic book exclusives, they had their exclusive for High Republic #1, and what they did was they donated like more than half of their copies. So what they did was they ripped off the cover and basically gave you, included with the variant, they gave you number one with coverless. But the first page is that whole timeline. So someone actually sent that in the CGC, and CGC actually considered that a regular cover, and it was a blue label. But I guess enough people posted about it, and CGC actually, if you look up the certification number, they actually changed it now that it says coverless comic.
I wonder if that comic will be a collectible because
I'm watching it on eBay. I'm sure there's tons of other people.
Because even whatever you say in the registry, it doesn't matter because whatever I hold in my hand,
right.
There's that infamous CDC slab where Negan is killing Stan Lee. You guys don't know the history on that. That wasn't supposed to be graded, and then the story is the book was destroyed. The story is CGC bought out this person so that, they could destroy it. So they gave them money and to send the book back. But my guess is it's not destroyed. Somebody from CGC has it. But, that's just my own paranoia and my own way of thinking. Cause I know how, I'm not saying I'm insider or anything. I just know how the industry works, that somebody from CGC probably has, that book somewhere else. Just Google the history of that the Negan Stan Lee cover. It's a very, very interesting story on how the insides of the industry were freaks of the industry. It reminds me of Digital Underground. Shout out to everybody in the live chat, man. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. We'll be back on maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We're all tired. I did 5 shows in a row last week, or 4 shows, but we got a long-term spec list. We got a long-term spec list next week and the following week. We got a ton of stuff, so we'll see how it goes. If we have time, we're going to do the long-term spec list tomorrow. You're really going to like it. It's for an MCU Disney Plus show with some cool characters on there. Some are already pricey and some are really, really low and kind of weird, man. Man, any last words?
Yeah, so first off, glad to be back. I know I was kind of absent the past couple of weeks. Work's been
didn't even notice you.
Oh, thanks. Work's been a little crazy the past couple of weeks, but I'm back. Glad to be back. And this Friday, Justin and I will be dropping a brand new episode of the Comic-Con podcast, which you can find on Spotify, Apple iTunes, or Google Podcast, or Anchor FM. You can also follow us on Instagram at the Comic-Con podcast, and link tree there to all our different arenas of contacting us. But been having a lot of fun. Justin and I kind of doing this thing and getting it growing, and it's been awesome, man. So love hearing from you guys, and definitely tune into it.
When will the episode drop about all the wrong WandaVision spec?
Oh God. After, bro, you have no idea. I literally have a list.
There's so many different things, man.
And I'm going to tear some people apart.
I can't wait. I'm just going to sit back and let Zach talk.
I swear to God, I think the showrunners of WandaVision purposely threw in all these Easter eggs, but being that it's 2020, 2021, and all it takes is an Easter egg to think that it's the next coming of, Iron Man or something along those lines. But speaking of Iron Man, Justin, any last words?
Yeah, same thing like Zach said. Podcast coming out this Friday. Everyone, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you all for joining us tonight and tomorrow. If you are following me on Instagram, my Star Wars mystery box drops tomorrow night at 9:00 Eastern. There's only 20 boxes, 2 grand prizes. Be sure there, man, because there's some good stuff in there, man.
There's gold in them heroes.
What's my discount code, Justin?
There's no discount code. It's just claim.
It's
what's mine?
Your discount code?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. LOTLB, man.
There you go. If you claim LOTLB, you get 0% off your purchase.
Damn,
$20 extra.
That's brutal. I know. I charge you extra. Also, hey, if you're catching us on a rewind, this show is also on a podcast. It drops the following day on Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. So you can hear us talking for 30 to 40 minutes without any graphics. So I upload the podcast. I learned a long time ago when my channel was taken down to make sure I have an archive of my stuff. So I have Lord shows on audio podcasts going back to 2018. So thank God I uploaded those audio podcasts. For you YouTubers out there, make sure you have somewhere to archive your stuff, because if YouTube takes down your channel, you don't have access to your videos anymore. So at least do an audio backup, and StreamYard makes it easy. There's an option in StreamYard to actually download audio only, or you can save the video and have all your videos saved, but it'll probably take up a ton of space. So we'll be back on maybe tomorrow for the long-term spec list, but definitely on Thursday for the Shakers. And then I also want to shout out, I will be on East versus West. West versus East meets West. East meets West on Sunday. And when I get to talk Doctor Strange with the homies, Joker M21 and Gomez, the comic collector. So I'm going to be on East meets West on Sunday at 4 p.m. And then I'm doing a live Letters of the Long Box with Mikey Sutton again on Sunday at 5 p.m. So I'm going to be back to back. And also, at least myself, Justin, and Dark Side Jedi, I don't know about Manimal yet. We're going to be on the Geek Aficionado on Saturday and What We Hunt. So you get to find out what we actually go out and look for as far as comic books. And maybe they're on this list, maybe they're not on this list. But thank you guys all for joining us. Really appreciate you. Until next time, boys and girls, which could be tomorrow. Keep digging in them long boxes, and peace out.
Now let's do this! Rewind, select, and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last. Jump.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it! We're here! We're back!
Word up. Get to a job. You can't get fresher than this.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
When it comes, I won't even